Well, good afternoon, and thank you for being here with us today. Flooding in New Orleans, the city's response to its flooding, and the ever-changing pumping capacity in the city of New Orleans have prompted many of our citizens in Jefferson to call, email, and text questions regarding our vulnerability to flooding. The state of our flood management in Jefferson Parish is strong and reliable. Last Saturday, we too experienced heavy rainfall of 5 to 6 inches in very concentrated areas in a short period of time. But our emergency management pre-planning and the redundancies created by our Department of Public Works helped us weather the storm without reporting any significant flooding. Heading into last Saturday's rain, we were aware that as many as 4 of the 15 pumps at New Orleans' Pump Station 6 were compromised. Because the pump station is on the 17th Street Canal between Jefferson and Orleans Parish, the compromised status of that station forced us to rely on our redundancy strategies, which also include employing a complex series of equalizer canals and retention ponds. I was alarmed, however, to learn on Thursday morning from media that the fire at the Sewerage and Water Board's South Claiborne Electrical Generating Plant had a damaged turbine that decreased the amount of electricity available to power pumps in New Orleans. That further intensified our concerns and challenges here in Jefferson Parish. Following that fire, Mayor Landrieu reported that parts of the city were at risk in the event of massive rainfall. He noted that Mid-City and Lakeview could experience additional flooding. City administrators, however, neglected to add that Jefferson Parish was more vulnerable to that flooding. Administrators in the city of New Orleans did not follow emergency protocols with Jefferson Parish. The 2007 contractual agreement between Orleans and Jefferson Parish that governs the operation of the 17th Street Canal Station was neglected. That contract reads that any change in the status impacting inflow and outflow from the 17th Street Canal Station will result in a telephone call from the City of New Orleans administrators to Jefferson Parish administrators to notify us of a potential problem. It was the duty and obligation of New Orleans City administrators to notify Jefferson Parish officials of any change that would make us more vulnerable to flood potential that was ignored. I am frustrated and, quite frankly, angered that neither I nor anyone in the office of the parish president was notified in that manner, expeditiously stated in our contract. That neglect could have made us more vulnerable. However, I am happy to report that going forward, the mayor and city officials have agreed to notify us no less than twice daily of the status of the pumping capacity and available power to pump stations. Also, as good neighbors, we have offered the City of New Orleans manpower, equipment, and our strategic experts to help them manage the challenges ahead. They have not taken us up on that offer yet, but we stand ready to assist. Let me assure the citizens of Jefferson Parish we have a plan in place in New Orleans if New Orleans' damaged pumps or turbines threaten to cause flooding in our parish. We would immediately execute our emergency redundancy strategy that would pump water into Pontiff Playground, as many of you saw on Saturday night, to protect homes and businesses from flooding. Pontiff has individual pumps that activate when the water rises to a certain level and send water into those retention ponds. By doing so, that would alleviate stress on the 17th Street Canal to allow water from Old Jefferson and Old Metairie to drain through a gravity system. We are concerned for our New Orleans neighbors, but we have the responsibility to our Jefferson Parish citizens first. We will employ every tactic available to us to protect Jefferson homes and businesses from flooding again. I'm now going to introduce Mitch Terrio, our Director of Drainage, to give you an updated status of the pump stations in Jefferson Parish. Mitch?
Okay, currently we have 181 pumps in our system. We currently have 3 pumps out of service, 1 pump at the Elmwood Pump Station. There was a gearbox failure on a recently installed engine and associated gearbox, which the manufacturer is in the process of repairing under warranty, and that should be completed in about 6 to 8 weeks. That represents less than a 10% decrease in the capacity of that Elmwood Pump Station. We have 1 pump on the at Cousins Pump Station on the West Bank. Is an engine-related issue that is going to be repaired sometime next week, which represents roughly a 4.5% decrease in the Cousins Pump Station capacity. 1 pump at the Lake Catawachi Pump Station, which is actually going to be replaced, pump and engine that going to be replaced as part of a project where the contractor was just awarded a couple of weeks ago, so construction should begin out there soon.
talk about the redundancy of the power.
Okay, yes, and at each of our stations, we have two generators and dual energy feeds. So we have, redundant sources of power that we're comfortable with. We do take measures once we get below two sources. We do become nervous and take steps to make whatever repairs are necessary on emergency conditions.
The 10%. Operating no less than 10%.
Right. And as you probably heard, anytime we do work, we try to limit the outage at a station to 10%. So any planned outage is always done, in off hurricane season as best we can, and we try to limit the total outage at a station to 10%. Right. And, on the East Bank, at the Elmwood Pump Station with the outage there, all of our canals are connected to, all the pump stations are connected via a series of lateral canals. So although that station capacity is reduced by 5%, the additional, the stations adjacent to it are able to pick up and, account for or replace some of that lost capacity because everything is connected.